Series Pro Mark Menendez here with you, and I've been around for a while and I've seen a lot, from the days where a little red light going round and round was what I was using to find fish and see fish on a depth finder, to now I've got a full screen computer screen here doing all kinds of video game fishing and things like that. Probably one of the most important changes in our industry has been electronics. Amazing that I'm able to see out both sides of my boat, see vertical, and actually see in front of my boat now to what's coming to me. It makes a tremendous amount of difference in the ability to target one single fish. I can see one fish and make a cast to it and be successful and catch that fish. So any other technique, the only time I can do that's bed fishing, if I can see him. So this is really neat. It has made fishing so much more precise with great mapping. It adds for safety when navigation. It makes my fishing so much easier. I can kill a lot of dead water. I can actually color my map to tell me what depth zones I'm in, so that I don't have to look and read it. I can see, oh yeah, I'm targeting a yellow depth zone, and that is 8 to 15 feet of water. I just look at my, oh, I'm in 18-15. Oh, there's a good drop off. I see it right there. I go right to it, and it eliminates so much of the hunt and peck. That's what it has done. It's taken my time on the water and pushed a lot of hunting and looking around for fish to a condensed zone to where, by gosh, I'm around them now most of the time. I use a Garmin. This is a 7612 that I use, and you can see I've got this cut into quads here, and it gives me a chance to do everything I need to do. Here is my GPS mapping system with all the contours and all my zones of how shallow or how deep or whatever I'm looking at. That just makes it so much quicker. Over here I've got a traditional 2D depth finder. Here's my side view, and then here's my down view. With all of that going on at one time, it's like, oh my gosh, that's overload. You should have one for this, one for that, one for this. Well, I'm kind of a simple guy, and I just kind of think that's overkill if I can do it with one unit. And the 12-inch unit is one that's big enough for me to still see. As I've gotten older, found out my darn eyesight's going away, as we all will. So the 12-inch unit does great for me. It's easy to move around. I have all my pertinent information that I need for navigation here, my miles per hour, my volts, my time, my depth on my 2D, my water temperature. So I've got everything I need in every quadrant that I want. I can stop the unit, I can put a waypoint out, and it makes it precise. It is cutting everything down. It's making the search shorter. The unique thing about this is when I'm idling, I can literally start to decide what species of fish that I'm looking at. We're here on the Tennessee River, and we have an Asian carp issue, and they're pretty easy to see. When you look on your side scan of your unit and you see real hard returns, real colorful returns from the fish that you're looking at, that means you're probably looking at a very bony fish. Asian carp, most of their face, their head, it's covered by a huge bone. So the side scan hits it and sends that unit or that signal back to me, shows up very, very bright. You also can learn how to pattern your fish and your species of fish by the returns you get. If I've got a very tight little dot, that's either crappie or white bass most of the time, or yellow perch are real bad about doing that. Bass tend to school much more loosely. They're in an area, they're in a little zone right there. You'll see catfish have a tendency to stack up like cordwood, literally. Those will be your catfish. So you can start cutting your search down by species as well. So that's what's really neat about it. Now further forward than that, we gotta get those back on. Further forward than that, on my front unit, I have what's called panoptics, which allows me to look forward, and it's in real time. There's no computer chip, no lag in time. So what I see in front of me is what is actually happening, which is really cool. I can literally scan as the transducer of my trolling is on my trolling motor shaft. I can turn my foot pedal left and right and look forward and see a fish or see a piece of cover and examine if it even has a fish around it. And if I see one, then I can target that fish. At an event at Lake St. Clair last year, I literally was fishing a 20-foot flat. It's as flat as your kitchen floor in your house. And I could look and see little grass clumps. And when I would look and I would see a fish, I would make a cast with a crankbait, wind that crankbait, and literally see the crankbait coming back to me and see that bass aggress the bait. A lot of times I had to turn my head from the unit and just wait, and then he got it. Simplicity and technology have met for the first time. You are not going to do any damage to your unit by coming in here and pushing different settings. You can always default it and go back to your main factory settings. So you're not going to hurt it. So get over that fear. My 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids of mine, they can get on here and move it around so quick it'll scare you. But they're used to using all kinds of electronic equipment. iPads, telephones, whatever. They have to tell me how to do all that. But if I can do it, I know you can do it. And it will definitely help you be more successful.